Hey guys, Keith here. We'll be talking about a brand new pain tonight. And This isn't the kind of pain we're going to talk about, but I'm going to bring this into play first because it's a brand new pain for me, a physical pain. But we're going to be talking about the heart pains, okay, that we deal with the loss of a spouse and loss of a partner, a divorce, whatever. Even a business partner, somebody cheats you, or you're cheated on by a spouse. Even if you don't lose that relationship, you've lost some things in that relationship, lost some trust. I recently had shoulder surgery, as I've mentioned in some of my videos lately. Not trying to beat that down. It's just right now it's part of my life, a big part of it right now, and I've been kind of not feeling well. I didn't even do a video last night. I wasn't sure I was going to do one tonight because I've just been kind of, the pain meds have kind of messed with me, I guess. And so just haven't felt good. I went for therapy first time today, and I didn't get sick completely, but I didn't feel good at all. So I've kind of come off the pain meds, the narcotics anyway, and taking some just Tylenol and Ivy right now to hopefully get me feeling a little better and everything like that. But anyway, talking about this pain first, okay, just as an analogy, okay, so hang with me a little bit here. I had this surgery on Wednesday of last week, and they told me, everybody told me, don't try to be a tough guy, just take the pain medicine when they try to give it to you. Well, they came in and said, hey, we got some pain meds for you. Or well, actually, I think I may have asked for it, okay, at that time. I don't even know if they offered it, but I said, I'm starting to kind of feel some discomfort. It's not pain, it's just discomfort. They come in with a muscle relaxer and a narcotic, and I just didn't really want to take the narcotic, honestly. And I said, well, it feels just more like muscle type things right now. It's pulling a little bit. I said, let's try the muscle relaxer. 20 minutes, that didn't work. I got back on there. I said, I'm gonna need some drugs here. That's what I said to them. They laughed, but they brought me, some narcotics, and I took one, and it just really didn't touch it. I'd already kind of let it go too far, I guess. And so wound up, I got another one, and so I took several that night. I didn't get loopy or weird feeling too much. Didn't sleep any either. I thought it'd help me sleep, but it didn't. And the pain was consistent all through the night. And I was just thinking to myself, this is a brand new pain. This is a whole new pain. And I've been writing a song about it. I write songs and mostly country stuff. And so anyway, it's about a heartache, but it's a whole new pain, a brand new pain that I had never felt before, right? A brand new kind of heartache. But eventually I was able to get the pain meds in me and keep them on a schedule, and the pain went away. Now I was kind of having some other problems. Like I said, I kind of feel like I'm a little sick from them, and bowel movements aren't happening like I want to. So that it affects other things. But unfortunately, when you have lost a spouse to death, or you've went through a divorce, like I say, you've been cheated by somebody, you've been hurt by a best friend, you've been let down by you may have been fired, or just been let down by a boss that's promised you a promotion and didn't give you one, a coworker that let you down, whatever. There's that pain and hurt, and I realize they all have different degrees. I realize losing a spouse is a great one. That's a tough one. The other ones can be a little bit more minor, but they're still hurtful. So whatever you're going through, if you've never lost a spouse, but you've been fired from a job, that's a big thing to you. And unfortunately, there's no pill for the nurse to bring in and say, here, take this. And if you'll just take that consistently every 4 hours, you won't have any pain, right? And then of course, while this pain, while I'm asking the pain for this shoulder, it's healing as well. So it's not like I got to take this forever to never feel the pain. It's just I'm taking it for a few days, maybe a few weeks, and and then my shoulder's gonna it's gonna heal, and and through therapy and all that, it's going to strengthen. I'm not going to have the pain, so I don't have to take the medicine all the time. But unfortunately, with the loss of somebody, your spouse dies, you can't just take a pill and go, okay, I'm good to go now. I don't feel any pain now. I mean, you can, but the pain's going to come back. You can drink alcohol, or you can take street drugs or antidepressants, or things like, you can turn to things, but the pain doesn't, you're truly just covering up the pain. And with alcohol, for instance, you would have to drink. Once you sober up, you're going to remember she's not here anymore. He's not here anymore. I'm alone. And you're going to have to start drinking again. Well, that's not good for you, though. Okay, that's not helping you. You're cutting your life down now, and causing your own self more problems than you already had. Plus, the people that are still in your life, you're causing them problems when you're taking drugs. Now, I can't speak for antidepressants. I've never had those. I'm sure people have to get on those sometimes when they've lost a spouse or they've lost a child, maybe they went through a divorce, even different things they go through, and they've had to have them. My wife got depressed when she had cancer, and I used to think they weren't helpful, that they were more harmful to you, and so I was a little more judgmental towards them, but I'd never taken them before, never seen anybody that needed to take them personally, but she needed them. And the only thing was she got on them and she was a little more like drunk part of the time, you know what I mean? She was high basically sometimes. So she didn't make good choices when she was on the drugs. They put her in a better mood. She felt better, but she didn't make good choices a lot of times there. And so you take the good with the bad. I believe there are things that we can take that aren't a substance, that's not by mouth. And I'm not saying you never take any drug, you never take anything. But as I say, if you take something, you're going to have to constantly take it, because when you wake up in the morning and that drug has worn off, whatever it is, whatever that high is, maybe it's eating, maybe it's overeating, maybe it's overspending, you're just using that credit card and you feel good and you feel good and you feel good, but then it's going to wear out. The credit card's only limited, it's got a limit there. It's going to run out, and you're going to have more pain because of what you've done. Same way with the drugs. You're gonna mask it for a night, but then that drug's gonna wear off. The alcohol, it's gonna wear off, and you got to do it again, and you have to do more of it the next time to get that same high that you got last night, and you just have to add to it, increase it every time to really feel it. But there are things you can do that I've found to be helpful, and so I'm gonna give you a list of 5 different things that you can do to help you get past, and not have to, this be your prescription basically for getting you through these tough times. One's a daily devotion, and when I say daily devotion, if you're not a believer in God, you don't, not into that or whatever, there's still inspirational daily devotional things that you can read daily that are inspirational that could help you. And when I say daily, they're usually short reads. They're 2 or 3, 4 pages, and sometimes they have a place to journal as well. And I didn't even write journaling down, but that's a good thing to add to, is to write some of your thoughts down. And like I say, some of those devotionals have a place for that anyway. And if it is a Christian-based or a Bible-based devotion, there'll be some scripture to back up what they're talking about. But even if it's not, if it's just a book on hope, a book on faith, a book that's on joy and on peace and something that's going to help you, then that's going to be beneficial to you. It's something that you read every day. Maybe you read it at night too. You can read, maybe you have multiple ones, or you read one at night, or in the morning, one at night, or morning, noon, and night, whatever it takes for you to kind of get through your day to kind of help you and to grow. The other thing is books. That's the second thing. And I know when my wife was going through cancer, she got depressed the first time, and the cancer treatment wasn't really working like we hoped. I found a book by Charles Stanley. He's a pastor in Atlanta that called Finding Peace, and it was a helpful book to me. There was a lot of different stories that he used in there from people that had, as far as businesses and health issues and things like that, different situations that where they found peace. And so that's what I was needing, was peace. I was needing that really bad. So I started reading that, and then I just went to other books. And I read several books that year, some of them weren't very long books. Some of them were devotional type books or short type inspirational books. But I read a lot to just give me, And so I don't have a list of books to give you in that. Just that's Finding Peace. That's one. But there's a lot of great books you can find either on grief, and it doesn't have to be on grief, but just something that has, like, say, hope, joy, peace, love, something that's encouraging to you to move on. Okay. Doesn't mean that the pain is ever going to go away completely. I can't say that. For some people it does. For some people you don't think about it as much. But the loss of that spouse is still there. Okay, the loss, the whatever happened to you is still there, but you can kind of move past it with these things, and because you got to live your life, you got to keep going, you got to keep moving on. The third thing is to find a group. If you can find a group that is specifically about grief, especially if that's what you're dealing with, then find that. And there's all kinds of different groups. There's divorce groups. There's, alcohol groups if you're dealing with addiction, and groups on grief or whatever. That's things like that would help you, encourage you, because you're with like-minded people that have been where you are. And a lot of times the person that's heading that class up, has been where you are. Maybe they've been in a worse situation. So you can see the hope in their eyes, and you see the change in their life and the people around you, and then of course it gives you a group of people, maybe mentors, but also people you can maybe call and say, hey, I'm struggling tonight, I need somebody to talk to, and they understand where you've been. Okay, sometimes calling a family friend or a family member, they don't always understand because they haven't been there. Okay, so finding like-minded people that's been where you're at helps big time for sure. Number 4 is funny movies. Finding something that's funny, and whether it's a movie or a show, the Three Stooges or Seinfeld sitcom or whatever you like. Just finding some movies that help you laugh every day, because laughter, as they say, is what? The best medicine. It is. And so taking that medicine and getting that in every day, as often as you can, laughing as often as you can, will help you in this situation and a lot of situations in life. And the fifth thing, last one here, is inspirational YouTube videos like this one. No, I'm just kidding. But, there's so many out there. Tony Robbins, there's so many people out there. I like Tony, but you may not resonate with him. You may not connect with him. You need to find somebody you connect with. And so you could search up either grief or counseling type people, or people that just talk about hope and joy and whatever situation you're dealing with. If you're having trouble with your job, you could search up, I hate my job, or you could search up, cheated by a spouse and the loss of a spouse, and you can find people that, and usually it's people that have been through that, okay, that have dealt with that situation, and they can encourage you and help you, and you can watch those videos over and over and over, have them on a playlist and watch them before you go to bed at night, maybe watch them when you get up in the morning, watch them at noontime when you take your lunch or whatever. And, but if you implement all these things, then you're not having to take a pill every 4 hours to hide and mask the pain, but you've got something to help for you to grow and get through the pain and overcome it. Okay, be an overcomer. That's the main thing, right? So anyway, I appreciate y'all tuning in as always. Hope this is helpful. These 5 tips on these 5 prescriptions on helping you to get over grief and the loss of things in your life and whatever you're dealing with. And if you could give us a thumbs up on this, subscribe to us if you would, and check out our other videos, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks.